Hi, I'm Poppy, one of Derbyshire's Healthy Family Peer Support Workers, and I'm going to talk a little about introducing a range of tastes and textures to your child with their first food experiences. From around 6 months of age and when showing the signs of developmental readiness as discussed in our Tuning In and 4S's video, this period is all about introducing a range of tastes and textures, learning to have confidence in your baby and the foods that you can start off with. You can include baby in meal times with others as soon as you start to introduce solids, and babies will learn from watching others eat and mimicking those eating behaviours. Evidence tells us that food preferences are a result of exposure. The more often we're exposed to a food or new taste, the more we will like it. So infants and toddlers learn to like the foods that they are offered. Don't be surprised if the baby initially spits the food out or appears to dislike it. New tastes take a little getting used to, and studies have found that it can take a child between 5 and 10 times before they accept a new food. You may have heard from friends or family to only introduce one food at a time until it is accepted, and then move on. However, we know that this really limits the numbers of tastes and flavours a child will experience in the second 6 months of their life. It's important to remember that as introduction of complementary solids progresses during this time, baby's main source of nutrition will continue to be breast milk or their usual first stage infant formula. You may find that as they become more confident with the complementary solids, that the amount of milk they take may naturally reduce. Vegetables are a good first food, as there is a wide variety with different tastes. They're also a natural rainbow of colours, so are attractive to infants, and you can use seasonal vegetables from local sources to be cost effective. They're also quick and easy to prepare and lend themselves well to a range of textures. Remember never to add salt or sugar to foods served to babies. So you can see here we have broccoli trees, mashed carrot and smooth red pepper. Starchy foods can also be offered as first foods. Things like sweet potatoes or semolina are ideal. You can cook, mash up rice or other cereals such as porridge oats rather than buy expensive infant versions, which are often less nutritious. Cereals, starchy foods can be mixed with breast milk or first stage infant formula or full fat cow's milk if your baby is over 6 months old. If you've chosen to introduce first taste before 26 weeks, then cereals or any gluten-containing foods should be avoided. So, for example, this shows smooth porridge oats, mashed potato and sweet potato fingers. Protein foods are rich in nutrients, so offering infants fish, meat, beans, eggs, lentils and tofu ensure they get iron and zinc, which is important for growth and development. Eggs are excellent first foods. They are often easy to prepare and can be mashed if needed. Always use British Lion Mark eggs. Fish and meat can be introduced as first foods. Ensure they're cooked well and that there is no gristle or bones. They can be mashed or mixed with baby's usual milk to make a softer consistency, or they're ideal to be cut into hand-sized strips and eaten as finger foods. This shows mashed salmon, chicken strips, smooth red lentil and scrambled egg. If you're thinking of offering your child a vegetarian or vegan diet, the First Steps Nutrition Trust website has more information, and they also have the Eating Well Vegan Guidebook. Dairy and dairy alternatives are excellent first foods to introduce to babies at around 6 months of age, as they can also be mixed with other tastes and textures and don't require any preparation. Choose unsweetened, full-fat milk yogurt, cottage cheese and milk alternative products such as plain coconut yogurt. Avoid baby yogurts and fromage frais as they are often sweetened unnecessarily. As you can see here, simple servings of cottage cheese and plain yogurt. Once your baby has experienced a range of savoury tastes, fruit can be introduced. Fruit is often easily accepted as it has a sweeter taste. Cook fruit to soften them. Ensure they are free of large pips or hard skin. You can use any type of fruit, fresh, frozen or canned in natural juice. Avoid canned-in syrup. If serving fruit as finger foods, make sure pieces are soft and manageable. Avoid chunks of apple and harder fruits. Don't be afraid to try berries or exotic fruits such as strawberries, pineapple or kiwi. This shows lovely fresh, smooth apple, mashed pear and fingers of mango. What you'll have noticed about these images is that the foods have been presented in 3 simple ways: smooth, mashed and as finger foods. Each of the foods suggested can be offered in all 3 ways, so you can approach introduction of these tastes and textures in a way that suits you and your baby. Remember, it doesn't need to be an all or nothing approach. You can mix and match, as this will help baby to develop good hand-to-mouth control, and self-feeding allows the infant to choose what and how much they eat of a food. You can offer a loaded spoon that the infant can then self-feed with. However, if your baby's struggling, you can choose to offer 1 or 2 tastes via spoon yourself until you feel that the baby is more capable. Preparation is always straightforward with each method. No expensive blenders or equipment is needed, just cooking to soften, then if wishing to offer smooth, using a spoon and sieve to remove lumps or pips, or a fork to mash, with finger foods cutting into hand-sized strips. So here we have smooth broccoli mashed with a fork, and easy to hold in a finger food. Portion sizes are often quite confusing for parents. Have a look at this poster to help you see why we encourage you to only offer a small palm-sized portion to the infant. Smaller hands equals smaller portions. I hope you have found this video helpful as a starting point of what tastes and textures to get you off to a good start when you introduce complementary solids to your baby. Remember, it doesn't need to be an all or nothing approach. Smooth, mashed or finger foods, base meals and snacks around minimally processed and natural foods. Avoid ultra-processed, marketed for baby products and pouches, as these are expensive and less nutritious. If there's more than a handful of ingredients on the label, put it back on the shelf. For further reading and first food ideas, look at the First Steps Infant Nutrition Trust website and the accompanying free to download Eating Well in the First Year guide, and the other wonderful links on our website.